Hold on, I'm just posting this out. Trying to promote the stream. Okay. At the very least, we got a story going. I don't know if anybody's going to tune into this. It was definitely easier to get people here when CJI was on, you know? Watch party just made sense. But I might be on my own for a little bit. That's okay. I want to get some things recorded. This gives me an excuse to, you know, test out some streaming stuff. I'm still very new to the streaming thing. Also simultaneously doing a fantasy football draft, so bear with me if I'm looking at my phone every now and then. Hopefully, you know, we get some people jumping into the chat at some point, though. All right, I'm about to make a pick on this draft. 1 second before we jump into too much. All right, who do we like here? I'm going with Mike Evans. Okay. Let's jump into it. I'm going to throw the headphones on too. Didn't mean to move that. All right, first order of business here. We have to look at my predictions. I've stayed true to the game. Despite not doing it live, I did do my punishments for getting a match wrong. If we recap my predictions, though, let's get back to day 2. Day 2 was the big one. And you know what? I didn't do so bad on the predictions. Take a look at these. Take a look at these with me real quick. Match 1 on day 2. Let's just call this match 1. Okay. Match 1 on day 2. New Wave versus Atos. That was a banger. That was an absolute banger. And New Wave won, and I called it. But in that match, a lot happened, right? We had Luke Griffith get put in a brutal armbar. That definitely compromised his arm. Felipe looked unreal in that match. Maybe like the best we've seen him in a while. But then he proceeded to get absolutely worked by Dorian. I mean, I wouldn't mind like finding a clip of that actually. I didn't have one pulled up, but I'm worried about going to Flow and showing it on there because things are getting taken down left and right when you do that. But maybe if we watch it like this. I mean, this is crazy. He double-legged him. The fact that he was even able to get a hold of Felipe's head is just insane. And then, like, he pushed him up against the wall. Nobody really did that all weekend very often at all. That was one thing that was a little bit surprising about this year's CJI versus last year's is you didn't have a lot of people using the wall, like, whatsoever. But Dorian, just relentless pressure. Like, he is just the epitome of just wrestle jitsu. So impressive. Okay, hang on. I'm getting distracted again. Okay. So either way, we predicted that one right. That's good. No punishment. The next one, B team versus Australasia. This one was disappointing because obviously Bilal was hurt, right? There was a lot of question marks if he was even going to fight. It was really weird. Like, originally they didn't even have him listed as an option for this match, so they were just going to be down a guy, which is kind of weird. Like, how did that end up being the rule they went with? Like, instead of just letting somebody fight twice, they were just going to eliminate him completely. But either way, he toughed it out. He made it out there. And he actually didn't look so bad. Like, he was obviously moving a little slow, but it wasn't that bad. However, B team still couldn't get it done. The Kenta match. Oh my God. Kenta versus Nicky Rod. That was another one where just like the smaller guy, 66, I don't know. Kenta maybe wasn't 66. I think he was 77. Just pushed Nicky Rod to the limits. Like, broke him. I mean, I guess he didn't fully break him because he did lose, but wouldn't get submitted, refused to tap. Had Nicky Rod in a crazy ankle lock. Almost looked like he was going to snap his leg, even though he was just so much smaller. But either way, I got that one right. B team versus Australasia. B team won. Picked that one right. Next was Craig versus Chael. I mean, this one I just predicted to a T. Like, I think everybody did. There was no chance Chael was going to do anything to Craig Jones. But submitting him twice, I mean, I guess I didn't predict that part. Almost 3 times. Gabby Garcia was trying to get it to be 3 times. The next one, Sarah Galvao versus Helena. That was one I got wrong. Officially got it wrong. Israel, tell me about this. I need to learn more about this because clearly I'm not realizing it. You think he's going to Peru now? Why Peru? Getting made into a skin suit. Bro, you're on some wave that I'm not with you on. You need to educate me. But what happened here? Sarah Galvao got leg locked. It was too good to be true. Maybe she is just a gi warrior. They don't have all the leg locks in the gi. She gets away with it. She gets away with it until it comes to no gi, and she can't defend those legs. Fortunately, she lost, and my prediction was wrong. But I did get the final right, kind of. The anonymous donors are interesting, man. There was a guy who claims to be the anonymous donor on Reddit. I don't know if you saw that. He claimed to be the one that funded the whole event, and he was unhappy with B Team being the only ones getting paid out. He disagreed with the decision that B Team won. And so that's why he funded the second one. You think they're getting good press? I don't know. I think there's definitely some bad press out there for them right now. You can't deny that. There's a lot of hate towards the group that ran the whole thing, right? Craig, obviously, because he is from B Team. But yeah, I guess they did get robbed. The nice thing is, at least the money came through. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why. Also, the 50K bonuses, right? On day 2. That was kind of crazy. That came out of absolutely nowhere. Got your results here. Guess I want to look at main card. Oh, this isn't set up very well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you, Israel. Like, it's still a great event, right? Like, I think that's the good part of it. I don't think there's like some narrative against that should be against them that hard. Like, at the end of the day, it was just a good jiu-jitsu event, and people got paid, and that's pretty great. I don't know anything about Reddit influence campaigns, to be honest. Okay, but the punishment wheel is here. I have to do a punishment. I have to do a punishment. I got the Sarah Galvao match wrong. I predicted that wrong. So that means we're back to the wheel. People getting paid, man. It's a sport where people weren't getting paid for the longest time. You know, $20,000 was a huge deal in jiu-jitsu a few years ago. Now people got $1 million last year, $200K this year. 10 people. I don't know, man. I think you're looking into it a little too hard if you think there's some like weird agenda about it. I really do think it's kind of just sick that the event happened. Yeah, 32 dudes got paid. That's a good point. That's one argument I had against the event. You know, there's no new talent being injected into the sport through CJI. Okay, I digress though. You're getting me off topic here. I need to do a punishment. I got a prediction wrong. Sarah Galvao, this one's for you. I would love for it to be on tequila. I'm not gonna lie, fuck. This is the worst one. This is the one I wanted the least, for sure. For sure. Oh my god. Holy mackerel. Mackerel and hot tomato sauce. Israel, I think it's just you and me here, buddy. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know why he would spend so much money unless but the fact that it's anonymous, like, don't you think that maybe they just want to see good jiu-jitsu and, you know, they spice things up? They promoted the submissions a little more by adding the submission bonus. All right. I don't know if I've ever eaten mackerel. Definitely not my first choice. Anything fish in a can. I mean, I guess that's a lie. There are some good ones. But I've heard this stuff's pretty stinky, which is going to be terrific. I don't even know what to expect when I open this can. Like, do I need a fork? Do I need chopsticks? Epstein's main girl, Ghislaine Maxwell, is well documented to be the most influential Reddit user, period. No way. Is that a real thing? I've never heard this. I'm not into these Reddit rabbit holes the way you are. You're really educating me here. Oh my god. It fucking stinks. Okay, wait. Maybe it doesn't stink that bad. I kind of like the smell. Oh, it's very, very thick. This is a huge piece. It's just one big piece in here. I don't have to cook this, right? Surely I don't. It's very salty. 290 milligrams of salt in a third of this can. Can you see the chat, by the way, on here? Where is it right now? Whoops. Oh, it's so tiny. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix that. Reddit used to be a good place for info and shit. It was often hailed as the last bastion of free speech on the internet, but they got captured over a decade ago. Are you spending a lot of time on Reddit these days? I'm honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm not. I'm not spending as much these days. Kind of agree with you. It's but where do you go, right? Where else can you even go? Dark chat. Check your chat. I guess I don't really want that to be on the stream. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. How's it looking now? I'm seeing a blank gray box. I think maybe you have to send a new chat to see if it's working. If I go here, same thing. Yeah, it's making you skeptical of highly pushed events, eh? Well, I mean, you find there's a lot of skeptical people in the jiu-jitsu world. I don't know what it is. This sport just attracts all of the skeptics. You know, Eddie Bravo, he's a big one. Got a picture with Eddie Bravo once. That was pretty cool. Where is Craig Jones, man? Okay, bottoms up. Here we go. Here's the punishment. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. It's not as bad as I thought. It's actually not that bad. I mean, am I going to order this and like get it for lunch every day? No. Is it that spicy? No. Is it that tomatoey? Kind of. It's kind of just like tomatoey tuna. I thought it was going to be like way stinkier, even tastes saltier. I'm only taking a couple more bites though. Very doable. There is some bones or something though. That's true. Joe Rogan is the conspiracy guy, and he got everybody into jiu-jitsu. That's just the UFC though. I guess the UFC crowd is similar. He's an asset. He's an asset to who? All right, this is a nice flaky piece there. I don't know if you can. Oh fuck. Nice flaky piece there. This is my last one. Oh, that one got worse. Yeah. Joe Rogan is one of those conspiracy nuts for sure. Okay. Well, that takes care of that at least. Nice to not have to get drunk on a Tuesday night. All right, I'm skipping that one. All right, I wanted to get into some talking points here, though, about CJI2. Let's recap a little bit. Israel, stay hydrated, my man. Dude, the macro's not bad. Quite honestly, I was surprised. It's pretty healthy. If you need a little healthy snack. It was also like, I think the can was like $1.29. It was pretty cheap. I'm sure there's cheaper fish. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of aftertaste that I'm not loving though. All right, I'll start with this one. I thought this post was pretty interesting. This is a good site, Grappling Insights. I've never heard of them before. First off, the winners. B team has CJI2 winners. The majority of the team played primarily as top players with a strong focus on passing under pressure to expose and attack the back. They only had a 20% submission rate. Oh, I'm not showing the screen. Whoops. What's the best way to do this here? Maybe I'm too big. Let's go here. And let's go here. Yeah, honestly, the Pokemon Choose Your Fighter. You mean like the Royal Rumble, right? The Royal Rumble was cool. I mean, it's not a Royal Rumble. I don't know why I'm calling it that. The quintet style. I think strategy and coaching and sending out the right guy played more of a factor than I expected it to, for sure, especially in the final. I mean, look at how they won. Yeah, you didn't have a predetermined quintet format. You had spur of the moment. Who's going? And obviously, it was important in the end. Hence the controversy. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion on it is. You seem to be kind of contrarian to a lot of things. So I don't know if you think that was a legit rule at the end, or if you think there was some fudging there. But as far as I can tell, it seemed like that was the rule the whole time. Everyone had their chance to go to the meetings, hear about the rules, and B team just played the strategy better. It sounds like what happened. Kind of sucks that it went that way, and it had to be like a controversial final, but that's the way it went. Yeah, top players in a tournament where decisions are going to be so important. They have, I think it was 7-minute matches for the most part. There's going to be so many decisions. Like, these guys are so evenly matched. You have to stay on top. It happens every time where even if a guy seems like he's doing more, if he's on bottom, the judges they pick the guy on top. It's easier to look busy. Total, we saw 10 submissions, split evenly between the first and second day. Vast majority of submissions came in matches of significant weight mismatch. Yeah, this was pretty obvious. I mean, obviously the bigger guys can submit the smaller guys, but I really did think that the smaller guys were so impressive. There was a couple of times where the smaller guy won. More than a couple. There was a bunch of times where the smaller guy won. And yeah, it just reminds you of that's what jiu-jitsu, was kind of made for, is gives the smaller, more technical, more knowledgeable opponent a better chance of surviving against anybody in a martial art. It's the martial arts aspect of it. It goes way back to the roots of the sport. And it was pretty well on display at CJI. I think I'm going to end up making a video about that, to be honest. But the submissions, pretty even. Rear naked choke, no surprise there, is the most common. It always is. The arm bars were cool. The arm bars were really fucking cool. Giancarlo's arm bar was just the cleanest, most technical arm bar. It was incredible to see. Felipe Pena's very basic, just kind of bullied Griffith. Top players were the main strategy for top players was outside passing. One of the players' main strategies was outside passing to avoid engaging with the bottom player's guard. Main goals were getting to north-south, forcing the turtle to expose the back. Matches to watch: Declan Booty versus Ryan Aiken. Yeah. Kenta's passing was unbelievable. And then obviously this clip of Dorian is just insane. Like, he just put all these guys to work, exhausted them with the outside passing. And then, yeah, like he says, like, they would switch between outside and inside so well to just, like, easily just float through the guard. And then as soon as somebody was re-guarding, the way he just predicts it almost and just snaps to the other side or does something different to open the next thing up, the way he chains his passes is incredible. Normal quintet rules: you would run back matches until first submission. You would run back matches? What do you mean by they would run back matches? I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure if there was anytime there was a draw, it would they would both be out. Oh, if there's 5 draws. Yeah, this was a different rule, right? They came up with this one later. Yeah, I think in some of the quintets, I think I've even seen where they do like an EBI overtime type thing. Yeah, just more of the passing here, the inside camping stuff. I mean, that's just in the meta right now, right? Joseph Chen's obviously an amazing example of that. Headquarters stuff, split squat stuff. Bottom players get into K guard, scooping the leg. Couple of nice leg lock finishes. I mean, the main ankle locker is Mateusz Jasinski, right? And he wasn't there. But we did see a couple ankle locks. One that's not mentioned here is Jacob Couch on... Yeah, I mean, it is nice when everything ends in a sub. it was just so tightly matched up. Even when there's weight discrepancies, like you would think there would be more submissions, but a lot of times the bigger guys just can't get the right leverages. They can't get to the right positions. They find it so hard to pass because somebody so small is just gonna regard so easily. Their limbs are so short. But yeah, Jacob Couch with that deep ankle lock on Chris Wojcik. Man, I thought that ankle was gonna snap in half. Bottom player inside entries, false reap. I feel like I didn't see a lot of false reaping. Right? Like I feel like I didn't see a lot of false reaping, but obviously there were some good leg entries. Yeah, outside inside passing. I mean, look at Dorian here. Dorian's passing on Ethan was insane, man. I really thought that was going to go in the way of a 10-8 round against Ethan. Turned out to be a 10-9 win for Ethan, apparently. I think that was the biggest robbery of the night, personally. That was tough. Or maybe it was a... Do I have that right? You like the weight mismatch in single matches? Or you like it for... is that what you're saying? I don't know. I think absolute divisions tend to be even more stally. I think in the quintet... Yeah, I guess in the quintet, if you survive, your team moves on. So there's incentives to do that there. But I feel like... I don't know. I've seen so many absolute divisions where... I guess if you lose, you're out. So maybe the fact that you could have a second chance, even if you lose... takes away some of the stalling, in my opinion. So in an absolute division where if you lose, you're out. Oh, you mean the EBI? Okay. Yeah. I agree. I think the EBI in this tournament would have just taken too long. The thing about it, no matter what you say, is it was pretty easy to watch. Like, it wasn't that long. The longest part was the in between. Like, some of the interviews went on a little bit too long after matches and whatnot. But adding EBI overtime would have been too much. Yeah, bottom players just attacked legs the whole time. I think that's another thing that gets in people's heads. Like, as a smaller opponent going against a bigger guy, you're like, okay, but if I get in the legs, we saw Lachlan take out almost the entire absolute division back in 2019. And everybody thinks they're going to do that. Which is just not some people's games. And then you had matches like this where it was Lucas versus Chris Wojcik, and they're just two insane leg lockers. I mean, everybody Chris Wojcik went against, he's a leg lock guy, and he just couldn't finish anybody. Yeah, I guess that is an interesting point too. The ankle lock grip was favored over the heel hook grip. That's becoming way more popular. I mean, I've been trying it. I've been trying it in training. I don't know why all of a sudden ankle locks went from being useless to the meta, but here we are. New technology. Okay, now obviously the controversy, right? Where do we even start? I mean, Gordon was pissed. No comments. Interesting. You haven't completed absolute much since my early blue belt. I didn't contest my first blue belt match as small and newest guy. Spent a lot of time getting smashed, which is boring to watch. Yeah, that's the thing. At the highest level, though, right? At the highest level, these small guys, they know how to regard. They know how to escape so well that they don't end up getting smashed all the time. No offense to you, but as a blue belt, I'm sure you weren't, able to regard the way Diego Pato does. Right? I think that's fair to say. So that's why you didn't quite see him getting smashed the whole time. And there could have been some good matchups for him. But Yeah, it ended up being like not a great showing for him. So let's recap a bit. Tournament ends. B team wins. B team wins. I guess we could even start here. Imagine giving athletes 8 minutes to work and then being upset there are no submissions. Sub 80 IQ thinking. Yeah, I mean 8 minutes is tough to get a submission, but then I don't know when he posted this. If this was before day 2, I think it was, because the 50K submission incentives kind of worked. Does it say in here how many submissions were on day 2? Oh, okay. Never mind. They were split evenly between the first and second day. I thought I remembered there being more in the second. Dorian bores me. Fabricio obviously had some insane performances against absolutes. Like, yeah, Fabricio Owen Livesey. Fabricio when he threw that guy at BJJ, the one in Brazil, that one was pretty nuts. That one was more recent. But yeah, and obviously Fabricio had a pretty good weekend, but I disagree with you on Dorian, man. I think Dorian really pushed the pace. Like, he was taking guys down, trying to pass. Yes, he does struggle to get the submission, especially against those bigger guys. But so does, yeah, bro, the Uchimata was insane. But, I mean, Fabricio doesn't necessarily get the submissions either, right? He beat Giancarlo. That was just crazy. Okay, and then this was the next one. After the tournament was over, B team wins, corruption at its finest. Not surprised at all. Making up rules on the spot is always a good way to guarantee your team wins. Gordon claiming that the rule where the last match of the round would settle a tie. He's saying that wasn't in the rules. It was made up. He tried to, he tried to justify it in this one. In the event of 5 double eliminations and no discrepancy in penalties between teams, the winner of the team with more individual bouts based on judges' decision criteria. If there's a tie and individual bouts won, winning team is determined on judges' decision as a whole. Scoring criteria bouts. Yeah, so he's blocking out. There's another comment underneath here where I'm pretty sure it says, if there's a tie, it goes to the last match. But it does contradict itself. It's confusing. And then here are the scorecards. Chris Wojcik lost all to Mika. Wagner lost all to Victor. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. That's reverse. Mika won. Victor won. Dorian won. Okay, good. Dorian won the 10-9. That's what I thought. Bodoni won. Nicky Rod won. I think what I saw in another post. Oh, maybe this is it, but I thought I saw there was a 10-8 for Victor. No, I guess that would make sense. 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 versus 10-9, 10-8. 47-47. Okay. You don't think his style's going to age well? Do you think it's because he's going to get older and less able to blitz? Or you think you're saying stylistically stylistically he won't be able to keep up with like other techniques. Like people are going to catch on to the blitzing. I feel like he's such a good athlete that this style is just working. Like he's so fast and strong, especially for his size, that just people aren't ready for it. I mean, did you see him? He beat Luke Griffith as well, his own teammate, at an ADCC Open. I think you're wrong, man. I got Dorian staying on top for a while. He's so young. He has time to learn other things. Like he's obviously very boxy and probably not the most flexible guard player. But I think his brawling style will work. That Griffith match, man, that was impressive. Next piece of the puzzle was Craig going to his Instagram saying that New Wave was receiving $1 million. And Gordon wasn't happy about it. It wasn't enough for him. Good, and reverse the decision backwards. Fuck. Not good enough. Not good enough. Gordon says it's not good enough. I don't know. I think he should be happy his team's getting paid here. That was his big thing, right? Yeah, and I think I saw another post. It's gone now, but Craig Jones wasn't happy with this reversal. He didn't agree with it, but he did go through with it because the supposed anonymous backer wanted it to go that way. So now $2 million are being paid out, $50K bonuses. I mean, it's insane. They got paid. They got paid so well, especially Victor Hugo, man. He made $300,000, $200K from the main prize, the $1 million, and then $50K submission bonus twice. That's an insane good weekend for Victor Hugo. You thinking they won't get sued? Damn, that's an interesting take. Maybe they're covering their asses, right? Maybe they feel because of the contradictory rules statement, it wasn't clear enough. Maybe they need to cover their asses and just pay it out and just say, hey, hopefully that's good enough. Hopefully nobody comes at us. I mean, what else can you do? Yeah. But the New Wave and B Team saga is kind of done now. New Wave is becoming Simple Man Martial Arts. New Wave is becoming Kingsway. It wasn't a long rivalry, but it's over. Then there was more controversy. You had Kendall Rusing. I think she deleted it now, or it was just a story, so it's gone. But she says, don't get me wrong, I think it's great that New Wave got paid that $1 million. But Craig Jones said there wasn't money for more women's brackets. But when they messed up, they dropped the money on the men to save face. That's three $300,000 women's divisions right there. Then they threw out $50,000 sub bonuses, but not for the women. Craziest thing is the women had some of the most exciting moments from the weekend. I'm just saying that's what the people are thinking. Yeah, there was more here. I saw this one. I think she took this one down too. I think the most important or the most interesting part of it was here. To be clear, I'm not a CJI or Craig hater. While a lot of the promo isn't my style, what has been done is both shocking and insanely impressive. Great matches and, of course, WWE-esque attention-grabbing marketing plan and so much money paid to the athletes overall. A game changer. I actually would have loved to fight at this event, even there had been a weight class available. When it was clear that wasn't an option, though, I'd considered going to the event to support it through social media coverage instead. But sitting here is the fact something is just off. Okay, sorry. I should have read this part. I was told there wasn't enough time in the event schedule to add the second women's super fight. I'd also been asked about why there wasn't a women's division, and I was told that because it didn't make sense to do $1 million for the two guys brackets and less than $1 million for the girls, the plan was to have both next year and make 3 $1 million divisions so it would be even. Frustrating, especially considering all the time of the men were deciding which organization to go to, while women were just sitting in silence, talking to one another privately with no option. So it's kind of interesting. Like, she makes some good points there where this second $1 million kind of came out of nowhere, and there was never even consideration for it to go to the women's. I don't think there was a $50K bonus for submissions in the women's division, right? I think that's confirmed. So that means Helena's submission over Sarah Galvao, which is pretty insane. You know, 2 of the best in the world. She didn't get the extra compensation like the men did. That the B Team New Wave story is over now. Did Reddit tell you that? No, I'm kind of just coming up with that. Either B Team or dumping crazy bucks to the best marketers in the world. Yeah, I don't really understand what you mean. Like, what's so amazing about their marketing? You don't think they have the skill to back it up? I mean, they definitely win events. There's definitely that. I think people want to come and visit them and see what they're up to over there. So let's actually look at what B Team made. So the mission of the Craig Jones Invitational, sorry, not B Team, Craig Jones Invitational, to provide higher financial compensation and better opportunities for grappling athletes, acting as a high-stakes alternative to other major grappling events like ADCC, Beyond Athlete Pay. It also focuses on elevating the sport of jiu-jitsu by creating an exciting, innovative fan experience, fostering a sense of community, and promoting freedom within the grappling world. So the payouts were $4.6 million in the 2 years, where ADCC over 26 years has only paid out $3.23 million. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. They're getting people paid. Now, is it sustainable? That's the question. Can they actually do this for a third year in a row and then basically double ADCC's full payouts? All these other organizations combined full payouts. Like you said, I mean, where does that money come from? Where does that money come from? Here's what PJ Barch had to say about all this. Maybe this will change your mind, Israel. I know you're not being sold by any of this stuff. Okay, the first one, not being only controlling what he can control. ADCC went from empty gymnasiums to the T-Mobile Arena with 10,000 plus fans. Mo built ADCC Opens for kids and adults, expanded opportunities, raised visibility, and created so much. Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. A lot of really good stuff there. ADCC was pretty insane the last few years. Craig stepped up for the athletes, giving out unprecedented paydays and elevating the sport and pay with CJI1. Meanwhile, fans online try to destroy ADCC. Mo stepped down, and ADCC goes back to Poland. Yeah, the truth is the next ADCC is probably going to be pretty small. It's in Poland, smaller event, kind of back to the old days. And it's kind of disappointing. Like, you know, who knows? Things could turn out amazing, and it could be like a new destination type of event where people from all over are dying to go see it. You know, if they can get the big names back in, maybe they won't be competing with CJI now that they're sort of working together. But it seems like Mo's kind of out, even though he built it up so well. And, you know, things could take a step back without him. 1 year later, Craig works tirelessly to bring together the best in the world, promote a massive event, and stream it free on YouTube. Only about 1 in 4 matches ends in submission or fireworks. Social media blows up with hate for the format, the show, and even the Nogi itself. That's true. I was seeing, there was a post, I tried to find it, I couldn't find it, got so much attention of a guy talking about how the gi is the most exciting format, and no-gi's boring. It's all just inside camping, slow, boring passing. Not slow, boring passing. Just the same passing where somebody puts their head on their chest and tries to move to the outside. And it blew up. It had so many likes, so many comments, people agreeing, saying that the gi is more, there's just more technique, there's more options to pass, more interesting dynamics, and that no gi is boring. Might make some people think. You're saying he fucked the last CJI or this past one? Oh, he messed up ADCC. Yeah, I see what you're saying. He definitely did. He really did. He took away so many big names. Now, if they do another one, right now, I think this is the time of year that they'd be doing ADCC. So people would, again, be competing to see which event they're going to do. And, you know, if there's $1 million available, maybe even $2 million available, why wouldn't you go compete at CJI over ADCC? And then, again, we would lose so many athletes at ADCC. Yeah, like, I think I see what you're getting at, and I sort of agree that it's pretty awesome how ADCC has like all kinds of you know, unknown people and just people doing public open events to come and try to win. So PJ continues to say here, tons of posts, gi is better, IBJJF is better, a lot of scarcity mindset, but the IBJJF knew long ago the business is getting more people training, not chasing spectators. Formats matter, but realistically 95% of athletes will value winning over being exciting. Typically, it's a 1 in 5 athlete or a 1 in 5 stylistic matchup that makes jiu-jitsu exciting. All arguments for another day. Fans and athletes complain about decisions. Craig pays new wave, more complaints. New people want bonuses for the first day. Coaches paid, women paid more. It was free to stream. Everyone wants more money. It complains it won't stay on YouTube forever. I get it. But in the past couple of years, jiu-jitsu opportunities have grown so much. Female and male athletes making 6 to 7 figures in a single weekend. You know, there's the concert, T-Mobile Arena, Masters Worlds had 13,000 competitors. Hello, human. I'm talking about jiu-jitsu and the Craig Jones Invitational that happened this past weekend. A few years ago, 20K at eBay was life-changing. Good points. Good points. It feels more like a legit sport when you're seeing people get paid like this and they're able to do massive feats like this. T-Mobile Arena, Masters Worlds having 13,000 competitors. The Riff Raff concert, I guess that's kind of cool. Sort of weird in my opinion. Like, I don't know how relevant Riff Raff is, but the money is obviously big too. I get what you're saying, that there's only 10 people. There's only like 30 people getting paid like this, but at least it gives the athletes something to strive for. You can't deny they are the best in the world, right? The people that got selected for this. There is a huge popularity contest side to it, but it gives people something to strive for. Jiu-Jitsu's growing opportunities are at an all-time high, but without gratitude, we poison the very progress we're looking for. Fans appreciate the effort. Athletes appreciate the platform. A little controversy, competition amongst organizations is essential. And it's one thing to stand up against greed, but it's another to be so entitled that no one wants to build the platform at all. So I wanted to move into this video here. This was the Simple Man podcast. Gave it a listen today. At the 7-minute mark, he said some interesting stuff. The volume's so quiet. I don't know why.
Strain in his hip flexor, right? He popped his hip, and then took off of training, came back to training, popped it again. Actually, took off more time training, then was able to slowly get back into it, feeling fine. And then in the warm-up room, right before he's about to go up,
so his lung thing.
he oh yeah. Also, last week he had like a chest infection and was on antibiotics
for it and shit.
so had to take off training again for that.
Yeah.
And then in the warm-up room, retore his fucking hip flexor, and yeah, so that was just insane. So he sent down Max Hansen. So that's why halfway through he's like, dude, my hip flexor's fucked. So wasn't able to really get the sub, but it was able to pass Hansen towards the end, and then still a dominant win. Then next we sent out Nicky Rod.
Yeah. We sent out Nicky Rod
Brandon
second, I
Reed.
believe, and they sent out Brandon Reed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hospital. And then
Yeah.
So they're dealing with injuries. Now this is just one side of it. I'm sure there were injuries on every team, but all things considered, to perform as well as they did with some of these injuries is crazy. Like this one
I
was
told him,
pretty
I was
nuts,
like,
dude.
you have to get IV antibiotics. I was like, I can't believe you haven't gotten them already.
He
Yeah.
waited way too long.
Waited
Holy
way too
shit.
long. Yeah.
yeah.
It's okay
So
to
then
say that he
I'm like,
It
as
doesn't
soon
matter.
as we land, I'm like, you have.
Well, first
Yeah.
he's getting like night sweats and shit
Hold
from
on.
it.
Gotta back
and
it up.
then I think Nicky was like, I think you should go to the hospital. Say. Well, we're talking about Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
the fake one.
All right, so
Craig
let's get
has
back to it.
evaded us. Yeah.
Well, either way, we can't find Craig. No big deal. So Nicky Rod was hospitalized. So we land on.
You can take it. It's fine.
We land in Vegas, and his leg is just triple the size of what it's supposed to be. It's fucking
Dude,
insane.
it
There's
was
a massive
so
hole.
bad when we landed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was disgusting. And then there's
he
just a
was
whole-
fucked. He was shaking. His
Well,
face looked fucked up.
Well, first
Yeah.
he's getting like night sweats and shit from it, and then I think Nicky was like, I think you should go to the hospital, and then
Yeah, I told him, I was like, you have to get IV antibiotics. I was like, I can't believe you haven't gotten them already.
he
Yeah.
waited way too long.
Waited
Holy
way too
shit.
long. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay
So
to
then
say that he
I'm like,
It
as
doesn't
soon
matter.
as we land, I'm like,
Bro, that part right there, is this okay to say? That's crazy. This guy had horrible staph infection a couple days before the event and just competed. There's another point. I think it's like somewhere
Once
around
you're on
here.
antibiotics-
I literally just
Great
hit the
ideas
perfect
can
moment.
come
That's
from
exactly
anywhere.
all I wanted to hear.
for 48 hours, you're not contagious.
Hold on,
And-
back it up.
and then he's like, I think it'll be good. So we ended up keeping Nicky Rod in.
and the thing is,
Yeah,
so
also, just to make sure to mention this, once you're on antibiotics for 48 hours, you're not contagious. So that's just like a, fucking waiver there.
Disclaimer.
It's a disclaimer, yeah.
Is that real? Is that real? How long? Okay. He might be right. Huh. All right, Craig Jones. What is he up to? What is he up to? One of the last things he posted, this was 11 hours ago. Oh, it was a combination thing, so it was kind of like Flow Grappling probably posted it and included him because otherwise he's been silent. Obviously, this is a huge accomplishment. Pretty amazing. 2.8 million views. 167,000 concurrents. I think that was the peak. That is crazy. That is a lot of people. But yeah, now he will not be heard from again. That's the question, right? I think I'm gonna make a prediction on this. I think Craig Jones will break, come back to social media and post something in the next week. A week today. Today's the 3rd. How do I pull up a calendar? On the 10th. Let's give it till the 12th. No. The 10th. The 10th. 7 days. I don't think he'll say anything. No, that's a lie. I do think he'll say something. He's got to. He can't shut his mouth for long. I think this is all eating up at him. Maybe he thought he would just go off into a blissful, peaceful retirement after a smooth event, and it just didn't go that way. He's probably dying to clarify some things, dying to argue with some people.